All right, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order November 16th, 2023, the regular Clarksburg City Council meeting. Roll call.
Martin Howe,
Present.
Will Hyman,
I'm here.
Mark Jackson,
Here.
Wayne Morris,
Here.
Hattie Wright, Vice Mayor Jerry Riffle, Mayor Jim McAjack.
Let the record show that the mayor, the vice mayor, and Councilwoman Hattie Wright are not present tonight. They are in the National League of Cities in Atlanta.
Do you think he wants me on the call?
Okay, this time we have the prayer and the pledge by Councilmember Hyman.
Let us pray. Gracious God, we thank you for this opportunity to call people for a meeting. We thank you for each and every one who is here today. You have blessed us with supportive people who seek the welfare of your people in your city. We hope and pray you can show us the path to peace and righteousness through your ways and allow them to reflect on the decisions we make here this evening. From Kadesh to Kharkiv, all the way back to Clarksburg, we pray that you bring peace to all those suffering all around your world. In your name we pray, Lord. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time we have a special presentation recognizing Small Business Saturday, and here to accept that is Matt Policano.
Hey Matt, how are you, buddy? You staying out of trouble? Yeah. So we got a proclamation this evening for Small Business Saturday. It's a proclamation. Whereas the government of Clarksburg, West Virginia, celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community, and whereas, according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 33 million small businesses in the United States. They represent 99.7% of firms with paid employees, and they are responsible for 62.7% of net new jobs created since 1995. And small businesses employ 46.4% of the employees in the private sector in the United States. And whereas 68 cents of every dollar spent at a small business in the United States stays in the local community, and every dollar spent at small business creates an additional 48 cents in local business activity as a result of employees and local businesses purchasing local goods and services. And whereas 72% of consumers reported that Small Business Saturday 2022 made them want to shop and dine at small, independently owned retailers and restaurants all year long. And whereas advocacy groups, as well as public and private organizations across the country, have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. And whereas the city of Clarksburg expresses its appreciation to Kelly's 2.0 for doing business in Clarksburg and being an integral part of our small town community. Now, therefore, I, Will Hyman, Councilman at City of Clarksburg, do hereby proclaim Saturday, November 25th, 2023 as Small Business Saturday in the city of Clarksburg, and urge the residents of our community and communities all across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and have caused the official seal of the city of Clarksburg to be affixed hereto this 16th day of November, 2023. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, we have approval of the minutes, the conference work session, October 26, 2023.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? No discussion? Guess we'll have a vote, huh?
Yep.
All those in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Approval of the minutes of regular session, November 2nd, 2023.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussions? No discussion? We'll have a vote. All those in favor of approving the minutes from November 2nd, 2023? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Now we have petitions, communications, and public hearings. And at this time, we have Jack Keeley of 3016 Buckhaven Buchanan Avenue, wishes to address council about the wall in front of 317 Buchanan Avenue.
Thank you. I'm here because I've been here before about the wall. It encroaches on the Buchanan Avenue. It's not on the property owner's property. It sits out on the curb line, encroaches on the city street. And I've complained about this before. And since it's been 2 months, I thought I need to come up here and say, why isn't something being done to enforce the code for the city of Clarksburg? It's a fair question for the city council to tell the rest of the citizens out here why there's not been some enforcement code on that piece of property over there. Complained additionally about some materials stored on the property, the uncompleted projects that are there. But basically, I'm here about the wall because it's not on his property, that the owner's property. It's on city property, and there's no question about it. It should be moved, and it's not being moved, and I'm here to complain about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Keeley. I'd like to ask the manager if there's been any update regarding that while we can.
I'm still doing some further investigation. I'm working with our city attorney on it.
What did she say?
She's working with the city attorney on it, and they're still discussing it.
All right, this time we have the city manager's report.
So there's a number of updates throughout our parks in Clarksburg. The mini golf phase 1 is complete. The team continues to upkeep the parks, including mulch work, border replacements, and 2 playground projects. The Clarksburg City Park, the field turf project was approved by the board in last month's meeting. Bookings for the winter rental of the indoor facility have started. And the team has offers in for the 2024 concert season, so we should see some more updates on that soon. In code enforcement, there's been 21 building permits with a total job cost of $626,000, just over 7,800 fees collected. There's been a number of notice violations, structures boarded up or secured, construction inspections, consultation inspections, and rental property inspections. Animal control, we're reviewing resumes for that position. There's also been some complaints that have come in. The city engineer, there's a number of projects being worked on. A couple of them are being spoken about on tonight's agenda. There's been new complaints for entries into buildings that are condemned. We've tagged vehicles, done entry letters, trash can tags, and MS4 outfall testing kits have been prepared. Under economic development, the Clarksburg up-down overhead lighting project has been planned with design work utilizing existing light pole infrastructure in the 300 block of West Main Street. Staff is completing the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection's final funding application for the dilapidated properties program. That's also on the agenda tonight. The grant writer is working on the Guardians of the West Fork and the Clarksburg Park Board related boat kayak launch opportunities. The URA will be holding a workshop in December following their regular scheduled meeting, and staff continues to work with the CVB to assist with the upcoming Winterfest. In the finance, 508 letters were mailed out to any businesses whose licenses were on pending status. In the fire department, they had a new firefighter start November 1st, and everything is going well. And the chief's test and captain's test are on the 14th and 15th respectively. For the police, there's been a couple of graduations from the police academy, and then a couple have completed their probationary status. They also are highlighting at the annual Winterfest. They will be helping participate in closing the streets and maintaining that event. In public works, they've been busy as usual, so they've cleaned ditches, responded to a number of NOVs, continued neighborhood leaf cleanup for the pickup routes. They've secured vacant properties. They've processed over 28,000 pounds of yard waste and sold 13,000 pounds of compost, repaired streetlights, and also signed the contract for the road salt supply for the winter. The Robinson Grant has a whole list of activities and performances that are happening throughout November and December. You can check out their website. For the water waste treatment plant, The discharge monitoring report will be submitted for the month of October 2023 with no violations to report. The new auger for the Vortex gritter has come in. They're continuing to work on the new risk management plan that is due December, and the 2-year compliance inspection was received from our plant in July. There was no deficiencies. And again, I'd like to remind the public to please not flush baby wipes or flushable wipes down the drains. They do not dissolve and can cause blockages in the sewer line as well as damage to the pumps.
If I may,
Sometime.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
On the animal control in your manager's report, how long ago did the last last animal control officer leave? Has it been a while?
No, it hasn't been that long.
I saw the advertisement, but
Mhm.
is it for, maybe I was confused when I read it, but is it, now are we contracting it now, or is it still a city position?
It's a contract position. We checked with other cities how they were doing it. And surrounding cities, they don't have their own animal control officer. They actually call the county to take care of it. We're looking into doing it on contract. So the person, they would be on call for when calls come in.
Okay. So we're not going to contract with the county then?
I'm looking into that option as well. I had asked if in the interim while we were looking for an employee, if they could, and they said our ordinances don't match their ordinances, so they couldn't do that. So we also have the option of maybe entering into a contract with the county. I want to do an assessment on what's the most cost-effective option for the rate base.
And then, if you don't mind, I just have a question for the chief. But,
Yes.
Chief, I know we're getting new hires in. Thank you, but the Fairmont State Academy, is it up and running? Has that helped alleviate the issue of backlog and getting people, the new hires in, or is it still difficult with the waiting list?
There is no backlog right now.
Good. Okay.
It is open, it's running, but the cost of that academy is triple what we.
Okay. Thank you. I didn't know that either. And then the salt, did the price go up much from last year or year before? Or?
Kim, do you have that information with you? If not, I can get that to Councilman Howe. I will get you that information.
Thanks.
Unfinished business. Under new business, we have consideration of second and final reading and public hearing of an ordinance authorizing the acquisition, equipping, and construction of certain extensions, additions, betterments, and improvements to the existing public waterworks systems of the city of Clarksburg.
So move.
Got to open up the public hearing. Proceed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Word. I'll now open the public hearing. Well, throw it around there. Anybody wishes to speak for or against the ordinance that we have at hand? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing.
I'll move, we approve.
Okay.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we'll have a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion passes.
Consideration of first reading of an ordinance of the city of Clarksburg, West Virginia, approving city manager entering into memorandum of understanding with the county commission of Harrison County.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll have a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No.
I guess we'll have a roll call vote.
Martin Howe,
No.
Will Hyman,
Aye.
Mark Jackson,
Aye.
Wayne Worth,
Aye.
Hattie Wright, Vice Mayor Riffle, and Mayor Malpacheck.
It's like the ayes have it. Motion passes.
Consideration of a resolution of the city of Clarksburg, West Virginia, approving the city manager entering into agreement with the Department of the Army for the CAP Section 14 on Liberty Avenue.
So moved.
Second. discussion. If you could just explain to us where, like, I know where Liberty Avenue is, but the CAP, what, has it been completed or is it something they are?
So the
complete?
first phase is completed. Now the Army Corps came to us and well, to Tom, and saw that there's a potential to expand or continue the wall that's there. They have a program, so when they do their study, they actually pay for $100,000 of it, and the remaining, I think it's $28,000 or $30,000, is a 50-50 split between the city and the Army Corps of Engineers, which is great cost savings for the city to see if we need to move forward with that project.
Thank you.
Consideration of a
Well,
resolution.
we can have a vote. So it's been moved and seconded.
Yes.
Let's have a vote here. All those in favor say aye.
Uh,
Aye. Any opposed? No? Okay. Motion passes.
Consideration of a resolution regarding the West Virginia DEP REAP Dilapidated Properties Program.
So moved.
second.
Just discussion on this. Can you elaborate a little bit more on what this is?
So
At least
the-
for us to public.
Yes, this is the grant application for funding to tear down or remove dilapidated structures in the city. We made it through the first phase. When we had a meeting with them, they never mentioned that there was actually a second phase, but I'm not sure why they did that, but we received the grant, we've had it filled out. We've identified a number of properties to put onto that list. And so we just need a resolution to sign off on that, and because the date for submission is December 1st. So we need to have that in to continue on with the grant funding, but it's looking very positive for the city, which is great because we can, this runs hand in hand with the land bank. So it's a great initiative for the city.
Any further discussion? All right, it's been moved and seconded. I guess we'll have a vote here. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries.
Consideration of a petition filed by Jonathan Henry requesting the rezoning of property located at 849 Milford Street from its R2 designation to a B2 designation.
Mr. Chair, I'll move, that we move this to Planning and Zoning Commission for review and consideration.
Mr. Marsh, do we have to still have a vote to move that to the P and Z? Okay, it's been moved that we move it to the P and Z Commission.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. We'll move it to the P and Z.
Council comments?
Mr. Jackson?
I would like to thank everybody for coming out this evening. Mr. Keeley, I'll make sure that, we do get to look into, the situation that you brought to our attention again. I would like to congratulate the new firefighter that started with us, the police officers that have graduated the academy, and all of our small businesses, because without our businesses, our city won't run, and we need more business in our city. So, that, and also I would like to say, during our last meeting, the city manager brought to the attention of everyone that it's going to be several years before we are able to get the streets paved in downtown. And we had a lot of pushback about that, but I would just like for people to know and understand that we have a coordinated plan now. We actually put some things together to make sure that, we're not just blowing through taxpayer dollars. This thing is going to be done. It's going to be done the right way this time. So, for everyone, who's upset about it, I understand, I want things done good and fast too. But somebody told me, they said, if things are done good, they won't be fast. If things are done fast, they won't be good. So, we're going to get this done. It's just going to take a little time. We didn't get here overnight. We're not going to get this thing done overnight. So thank you all very much for coming out.
Mr. Hunt?
This past year, prior to us coming on council, did the paving ever get done?
I believe it was postponed, if I remember correctly, because of the idea that the water board was going to tear every street up, and we just didn't know. And I believe there was an agreement between perhaps Mr. Workman and the interim city manager at the time. I don't know if Chief, you may remember that. Didn't we kind of plan to put a hold on the paving while we figured out the water line replacement? I mean, I thought that was kind of the idea.
I think some.
Some of it.
So I guess the only thing I would hope that we do is I'm assuming it was 650,000 budgeted for it. I assume I didn't look at the budget last year, but I'm assuming we'll carry 650 over for next year until we'll have a $1.3 million budget for paving.
That would be a council decision and we'll.
Well, I would direct us to do that in the budget to make sure that we don't skip out on a year and let that money go by the wayside. There wasn't 650 in the budget? Some was done.
Yeah.
Okay. So whatever that remaining balance is, if we could get that, and we could do 650 plus next year with the remaining balance, that'd be good. And then obviously we'll continue to coordinate with the water board. Or give it to them and let their project, they can pave more since they're paving the streets anyways as they're going on. Well, just want to thank you also, Tiffany, for following up with Public Works to do some of that work down in Monticello. The residents greatly appreciated that. I received several calls to express their gratitude. So it's really looking better down there, and especially near the tow yard. They can actually keep an eye, line of sight and see the
Yeah, and there's
people
some
going
more
through there. So
updates coming too.
Yep. And then there's another one that just keep on the radar. It was at 323 to 341. It's that large embankment. There's really no property. It's just a property, no structures, but it's very overgrown. And that's the same issue there. If they can just continue with that when they get an opportunity after the lights and everything else to continue with. And then I wanted to bring up too, probably about 12 years ago, at least, Councilman Hunt was on council at the time. He brought up, and I spoke about this on the campaign trail as well, talking to people, but if you could get with the water board, one thing I would like to do is us to take another look. Years ago, back in whatever it was, 12 years ago, myself, Anthony Bellotti, the finance director, Frank Ferrari, we did a pretty in-depth exploratory look at maybe combining sanitary board, water board, and make Clarksburg utility board. So if we could look into that, I think there's some pros to that. I mean, there's always going to be cons to that as well, but I think the pros will definitely outweigh the cons, just from a rate standpoint for the ratepayers and citizens. But that idea, we were moving forward at the time, and the water board manager at the time didn't really want to take that on. But I think now Jason's still here. So Jason, I think he would be a good advocate for it. And I think the way you've been planning some things too, Tiffany, I think that's a good fit. So I think we can just look at that and hopefully get a positive outcome of that, at least some exploratory side of it, and just see how that will work out. And then also thank you for the Robinson Grant. That was greatly appreciated. I did receive 2 calls from donors. They were very appreciative as well. I don't know when it happened. I got a call probably a couple of weeks ago. I think contacted Tiffany on it, but the website was changed. I don't know how long ago. It's been a while since I've been on here, but all the capital campaign donors were taken off. And I don't know if it was inadvertently or what when it was updated, but thanks to Tiffany, she assisted and coordinated to get that back on. And I know we're going to continue to do work on that website, but it's very important to keep recognizing those donors that put up the money for and assisted with the Robinson Grant. I mean, that was $1 million in capital campaign, so they deserve to be recognized. In an infinite. I mean, they put the money up, and we should definitely keep that up there on there. And then lastly, do we ever during the holiday season? I didn't know if we had a Christmas party date yet for the employees.
December 6th.
December 6th. All right. And are we going to invite past council members again, as is typically done in the past, or?
Annette's working out a lot of the details. She's out of town, but we're going to finalize as soon as she's back.
Okay. Thank you. And then thanks for coming out tonight, and everybody have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Mr. Ward?
Yeah, I first want to congratulate the 3 officers that not only graduated from the we're going to graduate from the academy tomorrow, but also the patrolmen who are completed their probationary status. But also want to thank the police department too for keeping up with monitoring the condemned structures. That was something a few years ago that was literally cannibalizing us. People, vagrants going into condemned structures, living in there, setting fires, that sort of thing. And it really took state legislation to, to give us the authority to make, trespassing on the condemned structure an arrestable offense. Of course, there's a process once folks are arrested. Sometimes people are PR bonded, and it's very frustrating sometimes, especially for law enforcement, in the field, to keep up with that. But it really, when I'm reading the city manager's report here, it's really great to see that, through the leadership of our chief, that our police department is really keeping up with that, because that could end up being a public safety nightmare as it was 3 or 4 years ago. As for city manager's report too, I see that the grant writer and the Guardians of the West Fork and the park board are working together, related to the boat and kayak launch opportunities. I think that's good to hear that they're all working together to try to find some funding, to probably make a boat, to hopefully make a boat launch. And I always say that, since we have a river, we might as well utilize it, and horseshoes right along the VA park. And I hope that in the future, I'll ask you, Tiffany, if, once they develop some more, more rapport and get some more information and a more strategic plan, if you could have them come to a future work session kind of to give us a good update on that. Other than that, I definitely want to commend Public Works and the police department again, for all their help to set up this Winterfest. Last couple of years, it's been huge. I mean, thousands of people in the street. It's a very hard event to coordinate and to manage, and it takes all hands on deck to do that. And so I really want to thank them too. And I know this, my council comments are all about gratitude, but there's a lot of things I'm looking at even on the agenda here that are great. We're grateful for, or I'm grateful for, especially with the consideration of the resolution to be a part of the West Virginia DEP's REAP Dilapidated Properties program. I think that's amazing because of the potential for that. If we could get some funding to even help, tear down some of these structures that technically need to be torn down. I think that in the future, it really helps our land bank. And that's something, we're not going to really see with the land bank that's going to bear fruit within a year or two. But if you look ahead 5 years, 6 years, it's one heck of a residential redevelopment tool if marketed right and utilized right. So I think this is another good step to really, helping our land bank. And other than that, I do appreciate, everybody coming out and, voicing your concerns, and also want to congratulate, Matt, Small Business Saturday. It's good to honor you. I honor you every time I go there and buy a beer. So, and I'll continue to do that. So, but I definitely hope everybody has a great weekend, and take care, and God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Ward. I'd like to expand on Councilman Ward's comments about the DEP, the REAP program. I'll be the first to admit the fact that we didn't get into this program when it first ran was a failure of this council, this board. I'm glad, especially considering I can't remember if it was the auditor or somebody. They came up and literally drove a bulldozer down on Milford Street, tore down a building, and we still didn't get into the program. We didn't even apply for it. So I'm glad you took the initiative to do that, because that's going to be a huge relief on our budget. The fact that we can get some of these buildings torn down by the state rather than city funds. Thank everybody for coming out. It really means a lot going into Thanksgiving. I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving and a great weekend. And if you hunt, have a safe and happy opening day. And other than that, have a great weekend, and the obligatory, if you see something, say something. We'd be remiss without saying that with Mr. Malfredone not here. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So.
All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
We're adjourned.